we function very differently. So obviously passengers are on board the ship for 5 days, 7, 9, 14 days on average in principle, and the way in which the ships function is entirely different to an airline. Before the passengers are allowed to embark on the ship, and of course this was fast moving, so a lot of the protocols were updated over time, but before a passenger was allowed to embark on the ship, there were pre-screening tests being done at the port of embarkation. And if they presented with an elevated temperature or if they had a travel history of interest, then they were in some instances not even permitted to embark on the ship. If there was a passenger who for whatever reason got past the pre-screening and was able to embark on the voyage and go on the ship, then during the course of the 5 days through 19 days or so 20 days, and they became symptomatic while on the ship, before that ship arrives in Barbados, there are protocols that have been developed by CARFA, and we receive through the Ministry of Health, through Port Health specifically, at least 4, sometimes 5 maritime declarations of health, which determine the persons that are on board. And they're testing for at least gastrointestinal issues or influenza-related issues. The last maritime declaration of health of all of the persons on board that ship demonstrating any kind of illnesses, the last one comes in 1 hour before the ship berths. And it is at that time that the Ministry of Health officials will make a determination and advise the port whether the ship is going to be allowed to berth, and if it is going to be allowed to berth, under what conditions it is allowed to berth. And in some instances, what we have seen in at least 3 cases so far over the last 2 weeks, if there is a person demonstrating symptoms on board the ship, we have kept the ship offshore, it has stayed at anchorage, and you have had the amazing Port Health Dr. Singh, who has gone up with the support of the Coast Guard, boarded the ship, gone on board, taken the sample, sent it off for testing. Within 4 to 6 hours, we have a result, and then new instructions are issued on how we're going to treat that ship. So I don't want to conflate temperature test screening at an airport with a passenger who's gotten off of a vessel and has been tested for respiratory illnesses or temperature tested on embarkation, and then 8 hours later land in Barbados with a passenger who has gone through an extensive process, and we are following the process now. In terms of the ships that are